Hey gamers, Jimmy Fallon here. Who loves video games? Cheers and applause. I know I do. These days, gaming is everywhere you look. Your phone, gaming device, your computer, gaming machine, your watch. Okay, that one might just tell time, but still, gaming has come a long way, baby. We've gone from simple blips and bloops to massive online worlds full of adventure. So buckle up, gamers, as we take a hilarious trip down memory lane. Get ready to laugh at the history of gaming, from Pong to Fortnite and beyond. Let's rewind to a time before the internet, before smartphones, heck, before cable TV. Gasp from the audience. It's 1972 and the world is introduced to Pong. 2 lines, a dot, and hours of fun. Okay, maybe hours is a stretch. But hey, it was groundbreaking for its time. Imagine trying to explain Pong to someone today. It's like tennis, but with pixels. And no colors. And you can only move up and down. They'd probably just hand you their phone and say, "Here, play Candy Crush instead." But back then, Pong was revolutionary. Next up, Atari burst onto the scene, bringing arcade games into our homes. It was a revolutionary moment in the history of gaming. Before Atari, the idea of playing video games was mostly confined to arcades, where you had to feed quarters into machines to get your gaming fix. But with Atari, suddenly the magic of the arcade was right there in your living room. You could play whenever you wanted, without worrying about running out of quarters or waiting for your turn. Suddenly, we could be dodging barrels with Donkey Kong. This game was a game changer, quite literally. It introduced us to the iconic character of Mario, who would go on to become one of the most recognizable figures in gaming history. The gameplay was simple, yet challenging, requiring quick reflexes and strategic thinking. It was the kind of game that you could play for hours, always trying to get just a little bit further to beat that high score, or munching dots like Pac-Man without even putting on pants. The audience laughs. Pac-Man was another game that captured our imaginations. The concept was straightforward: navigate a maze, eat all the dots, and avoid the ghosts. But the execution was brilliant. The game was fast-paced and exciting, with each level becoming progressively more difficult. And who could forget the iconic Waka Waka sound effects? Pac-Man was more than just a game. It was a cultural phenomenon. It was a glorious time. Families and friends would gather around the TV, taking turns and cheering each other on. These games brought people together in a way that few other activities could. They were a shared experience, a common ground where everyone could have fun, regardless of age or skill level. The living room became the new arcade, a place where memories were made and high scores were celebrated. Sure, the graphics were about as realistic as a cartoon drawn by a 5-year-old, but the gameplay? Addictive! The simplicity of the graphics didn't detract from the experience. If anything, it added to the charm. These games didn't need cutting-edge visuals to be engaging. They relied on solid gameplay mechanics and clever design to keep players hooked. The pixelated graphics became iconic in their own right, a visual style that is still celebrated and emulated in modern games. I mean, who didn't spend hours trying to beat their high score on Space Invaders? This game was one of the earliest examples of a shooter game, where the objective was to destroy waves of enemies. It was simple, yet incredibly challenging, requiring precise timing and quick reflexes. The sense of accomplishment you felt when you finally beat your high score was unmatched. Space Invaders was a game that tested your skills and rewarded your perseverance. Or trying to figure out what the heck that yellow thing in Pac-Man was supposed to be? Someone in the audience shouts, "A pizza!" The design of Pac-Man was both simple and enigmatic. Was he a pizza with a missing slice? A yellow circle with a mouth? The ambiguity only added to the game's charm. Everyone had their own theories, and debates about Pac-Man's true nature were common. But regardless of what you thought he was, there was no denying the fun and excitement of guiding him through those mazes. A pizza? Maybe. We may never know. And that's part of the fun. These games left a lot to the imagination, allowing players to create their own stories and interpretations. They were more than just games. They were a canvas for creativity and a source of endless entertainment. The legacy of these classic games lives on, not just in the memories of those who played them, but in the countless games that have been inspired by them. So here's to the golden age of gaming, a time when the graphics were simple, the gameplay was addictive, and the fun was endless. Section 4. Nintendo to the rescue. It's a me, Mario. The iconic catchphrase that has echoed through the halls of gaming history. But how did this all start? Let's take a journey back in time. Then, from the land of the rising sun, came Nintendo. Founded in 1889 as a playing card company, Nintendo evolved over the decades, eventually diving into the world of electronic entertainment. By the 1980s, they were ready to change the gaming landscape forever. They saved the day with the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, a console that would become a household name. The NES wasn't just another gaming console, it was a revolution. It brought video games back from the brink of extinction after the video game crash of 1983, and introduced us to a chubby plumber named Mario. It's a me! Mario wasn't just any character, he was a hero we could all relate to. With his red cap, blue overalls, and infectious enthusiasm, Mario became the face of Nintendo. Mario quickly became a global icon, more recognizable than Mickey Mouse. His adventures in the Mushroom Kingdom captivated millions. From jumping on Goombas to rescuing Princess Peach, Mario's journey was one we all wanted to be a part of. Okay, maybe not, but he was close. Mario's popularity soared and he became a cultural phenomenon. Kids debated over their favorite Mario games and families gathered around the TV to play together. Nintendo gave us legendary games like Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, and Donkey Kong Country. These weren't just games, they were experiences that transported us to different worlds. Each game had its own unique charm and challenges. These games weren't just fun, they were adventures. We weren't just pressing buttons, we were embarking on epic quests, solving puzzles and battling formidable foes. The sense of accomplishment after completing a level or defeating a boss was unparalleled. We weren't just playing games, we were exploring Mushroom Kingdom, saving Princess Peach, and battling giant apes. The vibrant worlds and memorable characters made every moment unforgettable. Whether it was navigating through Bowser's castle or climbing the ladders in Donkey Kong, every game had its own magic. And let's be real, the music? Absolute bangers. The soundtracks of these games were more than just background noise. They were integral to the experience. Composers like Koji Kondo created melodies that stuck with us long after we turned off the console. I still hum the Super Mario Bros. Theme song in the shower. Those tunes are timeless, bringing back a flood of memories every time we hear them. From the upbeat overworld theme to the tense underground music, every track was a masterpiece. Nintendo's impact on the gaming industry is immeasurable. They didn't just create games, they created a legacy. Their innovative approach and dedication to quality have set the standard for generations of game developers. Even today, Nintendo continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in gaming, always staying true to their roots of fun and creativity. So the next time you pick up a controller, remember the journey that started it all. From a small playing card company in Japan to a global entertainment powerhouse, Nintendo's story is one of passion, innovation, and a little bit of magic. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all be saying, "It's a me," with the same joy and excitement as we did back then. Section 5, PlayStation versus Xbox, the console wars begin. Fast forward to the late 90s and things got serious. The console wars began. The gaming industry was on the brink of a revolution and two giants were about to clash in an epic battle for supremacy. The stakes were high and the excitement was palpable. In one corner we had Sony's PlayStation, sleek and powerful. The PlayStation 2, or PS2 as it was commonly known, was a marvel of engineering. It boasted cutting-edge graphics, a vast library of games, and the ability to play DVDs, which was a huge selling point at the time. Gamers were in awe of its capabilities, and it quickly became a household name. In the other corner, Microsoft's Xbox, bulky but ready to rumble. The Xbox was Microsoft's first foray into the gaming console market, and they were determined to make a splash. With its powerful hardware and innovative features like built-in hard drive and online gaming through Xbox Live, the Xbox was a formidable contender. Gamers were intrigued by its potential and eager to see what it could do. It was like the Coke versus Pepsi of the gaming world. Just as people had their favorite soda, gamers had their preferred console. Debates raged on forums and chat rooms and even in schoolyards about which console was superior. The rivalry was intense, and everyone had an opinion. Both consoles had their strengths. The PlayStation 2 was known for its impressive lineup of exclusive games, while the Xbox was praised for its powerful hardware and innovative features. Each console had its own unique appeal, and gamers were passionate about their choice. PlayStation had iconic exclusives like Gran Turismo. This racing game was a masterpiece, with stunning graphics and realistic gameplay that captivated players. It was one of the many reasons why the PS2 was so beloved by gamers. PlayStation had iconic exclusives like Metal Gear Solid. This stealth action game was a groundbreaking experience with a gripping story and innovative gameplay mechanics. It was another feather in the cap for the PS2, and it helped to solidify its place in gaming history. Xbox had Halo, which became a phenomenon. This first-person shooter was a game-changer, with its immersive world, engaging story, and addictive multiplayer mode. Halo quickly became the flagship title for the Xbox, and it played a significant role in the console's success. Gamers everywhere pledged allegiance to their console of choice. Friendships were tested, families were divided. The console wars were more than just a battle between two companies. They were a cultural phenomenon that brought people together and tore them apart. It was a time of fierce competition and passionate loyalty. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but the rivalry was real. The console wars were a defining moment in gaming history, and they left a lasting impact on the industry. The competition between Sony and Microsoft pushed both companies to innovate and improve, leading to the creation of some of the most beloved and iconic games and consoles of all time. But the rivalry was real. The console wars were a thrilling and unforgettable chapter in the history of gaming, and they set the stage for the future of the industry. As gamers, we were lucky to witness this epic battle unfold, and it remains a cherished memory for many of us.